Hey guys, I'm back this week without my little assistant. She took the week off. But I'm here shooting this on my own. We'll see how I do. I have a mic this week, so hopefully it sounds a little bit better. We'll see. Anyway, I wanted to share with you a really great recipe for Father's Day, which is coming up next weekend. It is this delicious biscuit sandwich with light and fluffy buttermilk biscuits, which you don't need buttermilk for. I'm going to show you a substitution, and the most delicious creamy, cheesy, chivey eggs. And the combination between the two is just fantastic. And one of the things that I really love about this recipe is it uses all your fridge staples. So you probably have everything you need sitting in the fridge right now. Okay, so let's make the biscuits to begin. So we're gonna start with 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And then to that, we're also gonna add 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. In it goes. Then we're also gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then we're just gonna whisk that up until everything is combined. Then we're gonna add the butter. So a great thing about this recipe is you don't have to drag out the food processor. We are just gonna be using our hands. And this butter has just been cubed in small little bits. And what's so great about this is what is going to prevent us from getting those biscuits that sometimes end up like little kind of hard bricks. A lot of times that is because the butter and the flour were incorporated too much. And when you do that, you end up losing the little big kind of chunks of butter, which then create air pockets in the oven when they bake, and that's what creates a really flaky and delicious biscuit. So when you're doing it with your hands like this, you really can't overmix. You'll know that it's done when it kind of looks like this coarse meal. So then the next thing we're gonna do is add either a cup of buttermilk or a cup of milk. Now chances are you probably don't have buttermilk sitting in the fridge, but I bet you have milk and vinegar. So you can create a substitute for buttermilk just using 1 cup of plain whole milk, or even 2%, any kind of milk really will work, and a tablespoon of vinegar. So this is just plain white vinegar. Now you could do the same thing with lemon juice as well, a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna stir this up just like this and let it sit for at least 5 minutes. Sometimes I even go 10 minutes, because what you want to have happen is it's gonna start to get kind of like curdly, like it'll look like it's sort of separating and going bad, and it'll thicken a little bit. That's exactly what you want for a substitute buttermilk, and it works really well in these biscuits because what it's going to do is create the most delicious texture that's soft and flaky, and it allows you to also use less butter, which is another nice thing. We're going to take our flour mixture, our flour and butter mixture. We're going to pour this mixture in here. We're going to whip this up. So see, wasn't that easy? I mean, basically it just took a few ingredients. It'll look like a big thing of goo. See? Looks like wallpaper paste. But don't be afraid. It's not gonna taste like that going down. They're light and flaky and so delicious. Okay, we wanna just get some flour on our board here. And the secret with these biscuits, I mean, really probably any biscuit or scone, is not to overwork it. Because if you overwork it, you're going to end up with a really tough biscuit, and we want a really nice flaky biscuit. So I'll show you about the right amount. It's a very wet and sticky dough, but see, when you roll it around the board like this, it stops being so sticky. Then we're gonna get out our rolling pin, and we just wanna make sure it's floured on all sides, and then gently roll it out to, I would say, because we want them pretty tall, 1/2 inch, okay? Then I've got my baking sheet here that I've lined with parchment paper, and then you want to get out a biscuit cutter. I like the metal because I find, watch this, they cut into the biscuit so much better. And technically you're not supposed to twist a biscuit because I guess it really prevents the flakiness because you're sort of twisting, but I give it just a little twist just to get it out. And another thing, what I should have done, which I just didn't do, see, here's our beautiful biscuit that we're gonna put right here, is just get the flour going. So I should have floured this ahead of time here. We'll just do this right now. Just flour it, because that will also help with the cutting, and then you won't need to do as much twisting. But I find the metal ones just cut a bit better than the plastic ones. Okay. And keep cutting until you get about 7 to 8 biscuits. And look at them, look how gorgeous. In they're gonna go at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for just 12 to 15 minutes. So they don't take long, and once they start to turn golden brown, then that's when you wanna pull them out. You don't wanna over bake, so somewhere around 12 to 15 minutes. Here we go, look at these. Don't these look delicious? Oh my, these are going to be spectacular when we serve these with some eggs. Here is a little teachable moment. My little goof here. Okay, so see how these look really delicious and flaky? You can see that, and we're gonna just pull that right apart for our little sandwich. But then like this one doesn't have as much lift. This was the one that I rolled out too much. So the ones that I just rolled and cut are the ones that do better. So that's just a little tip for you. Try not to roll out the dough too much, and also keep that dough at like 3/4 of an inch thick, because the thicker the dough is when you go to cut the biscuit, the more that they're gonna rise. And we want them to rise so we can split them and fill them with this delicious scrambled egg mixture. Okay, so one last thing we're gonna do to these biscuits before we set them aside and work on our eggs is to just brush them a little bit with some melted butter. I know. But this is what makes these so delicious, and see, it gives them just a little more shine, and it'll also give them a really nice buttery, salty flavor. Okay, so we're just gonna set these aside and get to work on our eggs. Here is my go-to method for making a really killer scrambled egg. And I have sort of evolved in my thinking over the years. I used to use water a lot, and I still think that's a good way to go. But if you want something really rich, heavy cream is the way to go, especially for Dad on Father's Day. We need to spoil him. Okay, so I have got 2 eggs here. We're just gonna do a little dab, maybe a teaspoon or so, of the heavy cream. And then we're gonna whisk this up. I am really a big fan of nonstick pans for scrambling eggs. This one I just bought, and I love it. It's an all-clad nonstick pan. It's 8 inches, which I think is the other thing that matters. You want a small pan when you're scrambling eggs, and you'll see why in a minute. We are going to put a tablespoon of butter in our pan. I know, this whole breakfast is seriously rich. I'm not gonna lie. This is not the diet spa breakfast if you're looking for that for Dad. I'll link below to some healthier options. This is when you really want something decadent, which I don't know, these days we're like kind of all about the decadence. I think we're gonna pay for it when this is all over. We are going to add our scrambled egg mixture, and then this is where the technique comes in, the technique and the patience. So you wanna just kind of swirl them around just to get them to set a little bit. And you'll see that they're setting when they start to get a bit opaque around the sides. That's what we're looking for. See how that's sort of getting opaque there? And if I swirl my pan around, they start to stick. Then we're gonna go in with my little spatula here. See, and we're gonna push these eggs around. And see those beautiful curds that are starting to form? That's what we want. And then we wanna swirl the egg that isn't cooked around the curds. And this is the part where you might also want to lower the heat. Once your egg curds look like this, then you want to turn the flame off. This is another critical step, because the heat from the pan will continue to cook the eggs without overcooking them. All right, there. And then you can kind of keep folding them and let them set. And while they're setting there, then we're going to season. So this is where I like to do a little bit of just flaky sea salt. This is just the fleur de sel sea salt. So we're gonna put a little bit of that. And then we're gonna do some pepper, of course, gotta have our pepper. And then I also like to use some type of cheese. So really whatever you have in the fridge will do. I like mozzarella, or if you have some Swiss would be good, or maybe a little bit of cheddar, whatever you really have. Even goat cheese would be fantastic. Okay, and then my finishing touch are some chives. So I'm growing the chives right now, which are really fabulous. You'll get to see that soon on the garden tour, which we're gonna do. If you plant flowering chives, they'll flower on you, and the flowers are totally edible. So I like to sprinkle some of that on the plate too. We're gonna do that as a garnish. So now the moment we've all been waiting for, we are going to fill these delicious biscuits. Now the thing with the biscuit is you don't wanna cut it, because you'll end up sort of compressing all that flakiness. You just wanna pull it apart. So just very gently, we are going to pull this biscuit, and then you just want to spoon these delicious cheesy chivey eggs on top. There. And it's okay if it spills a little bit over the side. That's part of its charm. And then as a finishing touch, you can just add some more of the chives and of course, the flowering chives. I wish I could serve this to my own dad on Father's Day. It'd be so fun if I could just pick this up and send it through the camera. Here, Dad.
This is for me? Thank you. This looks delicious. Except where's the bacon? Oh, just kidding. Biscuits are so nice and fluffy. The chives. I am going to miss being with you. You're such a great cook. These biscuits are so light and fluffy.
I wish you were here in person. I would whip these right up for you. Well, we will do that someday soon. And I hope that all the dads out there enjoy their day as well. And hopefully when this is all over, we'll make it up to you dads and take you out to a big fancy breakfast somewhere. But in the meantime, I think you'll really love this too. All right, you guys, I'll see you back here next week. Until then, bye.